Howdy Cowboys Nation. Y'all better buckle up for this one, 'cause we've got a story hotter than a Texas summer. Imagine this. Jerry Jones chatting it up with Deion Sanders about the Cowboys coaching spot. Sounds wild, right? But that ain't all, folks. Rumor has it that the Cleveland Browns are sniffing around, trying to see if they can lure none other than Dak Prescott away from Dallas. Now, that's the kind of buzz that'll have Cowboys fans hollering at their screens. Here's the kicker. Dak's got a no-trade clause in his contract, so what's the play here? Could Cleveland really put together an offer sweet enough to make him pack his bags and head north? Even Ken Carman, usually the most loyal Browns backer, is pushing hard to make this happen. And let's be real, this kind of talk has timelines blowing up faster than a tumbleweed in a windstorm. So, what's your take, Cowboys Nation? Are we looking at not one, but two monumental shakeups in Dallas? Hit up the comments, and let us know if you think Dak's leaving or if Deion's stepping in. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for all the action. This ride's just getting started. Financially speaking, the numbers ain't impossible. Over the Cap shows us how Cleveland could shuffle some dollars around, turning future salaries into bonus options to make the deal fit like a well-worn glove. But it's not just about the money. It's about the message it would send to Dallas. Trading away a franchise quarterback? That's not something Cowboys fans would take lightly. It could be a gamble that shakes the very core of the Cowboys locker room and their future plans in the NFL. But let's zoom out for a second. If this deal goes down, what would it mean for both teams? For Cleveland, it could mean finally landing a star QB who's proven himself on the big stage. For Dallas, though, it might mean the start of a rebuild, something Jerry Jones hasn't exactly been a fan of. Imagine the ripple effect this could have on the NFL landscape, especially with other teams watching closely to see how it all pans out. Now, here's something else to chew on. Would Deion Sanders taking the reins as Cowboys coach bring a whole new swagger to Dallas? Prime time's got charisma and a winner's mindset, but could he navigate the pressure cooker that is Cowboys Nation? All right, y'all, let's break this down real Texan style and don't blink, 'cause there's a lot to unpack here. Trading for Dak Prescott might just take some cap wizardry, especially since the Cleveland Browns don't have $47.75 million in wiggle room. Now here's where it gets interesting. The Cowboys could tweak Dak's contract, adding a roster bonus early in the league year, dropping his base salary to the bare minimum. This way, Cleveland would only need $1.5 million of cap space to make it happen. Once that's on board, the Browns could restructure the deal to stay above board with the NFL's rules. Now let's not forget the big OL signing bonus Dallas handed Dak, $80 million. Y'all, that means if they go ahead with this trade, they're eating a hefty dead cap bill. We're talking $13.2 million for 2025. Compare that to his current 2025 cap number of $89.99 million. It's not much of a leap. Meanwhile, the Browns would get a sweet deal, taking on just $52.25 million, $25 million less than the original extension over 4 years, since Dallas front-loaded that cash. Pretty wild, huh? Here's the kicker. Jerry Jones doesn't exactly have a reputation for throwing cash around, does he? According to the NFLPA and Over the Cap, the Cowboys ranked dead last. Yep, 32nd. In cash spending over the past 4 years. Makes you wonder if old Jerry's got a hidden strategy, or if he's just keeping those purse strings tight. Either way, it'd take some serious juggling with contracts to pull this trade off. Think extensions for Micah Parsons, restructures for CeeDee Lamb and Trayvon Diggs, and maybe even spreading out Zach Martin's deal. It's a lot of moving parts. Now, here's where things get mighty fascinating. What if this ain't even about Dak? Some folks are whispering about Deion Sanders aiming to snag Travis Hunter if he lands a big job. That could shift the Cowboys' draft strategy entirely. And don't forget, moving from the 2nd to the 12th spot in the draft could mean giving up more than just picks. It's a full-on gamble. Dak Prescott didn't hold back when the Cowboys decided it was time to part ways with Mike McCarthy after 5 seasons at the helm. McCarthy and the Cowboys just couldn't shake hands on a new deal. Prescott, loyal as ever, stood by his coach right up until the door closed behind him. "We built some good things here," Prescott shared in a text with a local reporter. "But I guess it just didn't pan out. SMH, if that ain't a Texas-sized disappointment, I don't know what is." Now let's not sugarcoat it. 2024 wasn't exactly a banner year for the Cowboys. Prescott even stepped up, admitting some responsibility for where the team landed. And yet, he made it crystal clear that McCarthy wasn't just a coach, but a hell of a man who earned his respect. For some fans, McCarthy's exit might feel overdue, but if you follow Jerry Jones long enough, you know he doesn't cut ties easily. Remember Jason Garrett sticking around for a decade with not much to show? In January, compared to that, McCarthy's 3 playoff runs in half the time look almost golden. But don't think for a second that Prescott's sitting still. He's already got his eyes set on the road ahead, and rumor has it that a certain Colorado coach could be in the mix. Can you imagine the buzz if Deion Sanders swapped Boulder for the Lone Star State? Speaking of big moves, the whispers of a Dak Prescott trade to snag a high draft pick have folks talking. Would Jerry Jones make such a gamble, or is it all just smoke and mirrors? Here's the deal, Cowboys fans, change is blowing through Dallas, and it's stirring up all kinds of questions. McCarthy's departure isn't just the end of an era. It's the start of something that could reshape the team's future. Prescott's resolve and the Cowboys' decisions in the coming weeks will set the tone for what's to come. So buckle up, y'all. Y'all ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes at the Dallas Cowboys front office? Jerry Jones caught a heap of flack for holding on to McCarthy for so long, missing out on big-name coaches like Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, and even Mike Vrabel, who just snagged the Patriots' head coach job. Folks were ready to toss him to the wolves. But maybe old Jerry ain't as slow as some folks think. Word is, he's got a secret card up his sleeve. According to Fox Sports insider Jordan Schultz, Jerry reached out to none other than Deion "Primetime" Sanders about taking over as head coach. Yep, that's right. The same Deion Sanders who's not just a Cowboys legend, but currently making waves as Colorado's head coach. And get this, Deion's intrigued. ESPN's Adam Schefter even confirmed there's some mutual interest brewing between the two sides. Imagine the energy Deion could bring back to a team that's been feeling flat for a while now. Cowboys fans, this could be the jolt of excitement we've been waiting for. Now here's the kicker. Sanders has been clear as day. He ain't stepping into the NFL unless both his boys, Shadur and Shiloh, are on the roster. They're set for the 2025 draft, so it ain't too far-fetched. Some folks are dreaming up scenarios where Dak Prescott gets traded for the #1 pick just so the Cowboys could snag Shadur. Sure, it's fun to think about, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Dak's got a no-trade clause, and the Cowboys would eat a $13.2 million dead cap hit if they move him before June 1st. So yeah, pump the brakes on that fantasy for now. But let's think big here for a second. Imagine Deion rolling into Dallas, bringing that swagger and fire the team's been missing. Wouldn't that be something? The Cowboys would go from a team folks are tired of complaining about to one everyone can't stop talking about. Plus, who wouldn't want to see Primetime running the show on the sidelines, shaking up the NFL in true Cowboys fashion? Now I've got to ask, if Deion Sanders really does make his way to the Cowboys, what do y'all reckon happens next? Will it be the start of a new dynasty or just another big splash that ripples out too soon? Drop your thoughts below, 'cause this story's just getting started.